From the New York Times, women are falling in love with AI. It's a problem for Beijing. As China grapples with a shrinking population and historically low birth rate, people are finding romance with chatbots instead. I'm not going to read that. But Alexandria Stevenson and Murphy Zhao report from Hong Kong. Phoebe Zhang has gone on more than 200 dates over the past year, and she has narrowed down her suitors to two. One is outgoing and a rebel. The other is a patriotic military commander. She tells them her deepest fears. When she wakes up from a nightmare, they are there to console her. Often she takes screenshots of her conversations to remember the moments they share. Her newfound happiness shows friends say. Despite talking every day, Miss Zhang will never meet these men in person. They are her artificial intelligence boyfriends, and Miss Zhang, who has never been on a date, wonders if her relationships in the virtual world are better than the ones in the real world could ever be. My God, how am I supposed to date in real life in the future, she said. China's ruling Communist Party wants young women to prioritize getting married and having babies. Instead, many of them are finding romance with chatbots. It is complicating the government's efforts to reverse the country's shrinking population and a birth rate hovering at the lowest level in over 75 years. The lightning-fast adoption of AI in China has prompted regulators to warn tech companies not to have design goals to replace social interaction. So apparently the women in China are the ones that are after the goon bots. You know, everyone here is like, oh, the guys are just going to, plug into the matrix and enjoy a life of, goon bots and whatever. And actually, it seems like the women are the ones that are doing that.
Go find the My Boyfriend is AI subreddit. Your life is over. Look up the AI boyfriend proposals.
Oh, really?
Yep.
The AI is actually doing the proposal? Really?
Propose bot?
Proposed bot, basically.
You want to get proposed? You want to know what it feels like to be proposed to? Download our chat app, and you'll find out.
Yeah.
I was thinking last night, firstly, chatbots, chat buddies, whatever they call them, companion bots, they can be training tools. Like you can sit at home, get some confidence built up, and then you go out and you meet a girl.
It's never going to work.
Hey, guys, this flash news, women are crazy. Guess what, ladies? Men are crazy. Humans are psychotic. We betray each other. We shit on thank God for plumbing. But we kill to survive. You understand how devious humans can be? But still, we have human relationships because it's that awesome. And these bots are just like a video game. They will help you learn how to negotiate, but then you have to negotiate. So that's a big part, I think, of what this is. We didn't stop taking walks because we built cars.
I don't know about that.
Some people maybe but technology will make it easier to get.
We do have treadmills.
And
so
point
B, point there.
Point A to point B. I want to feel satisfied in my emotional life. Just because you have a car doesn't mean that you stop exercising to get that satisfaction.
It's out of fear though, right? The point is it doesn't actually teach you anything because there's no risk to it. The idea is you can have a conversation with a chat bot and practice all you want trying to rizz up the ladies, as the Gen Zers would say, but it won't work because you don't have any fear of rejection there. And until you can get over the fear of rejection and actually do it in the real world, it's a placebo that doesn't do anything.
If you have an AI that you work with, they are extremely complimentary, and you have to tell it to not basically glaze you.
There's personalities now, at least on ChatGPT.
Oh yeah.
There's personalities. You can make it be a hard ass if you wanted to.
Yeah. I've got a. People might be familiar with OpenClaw, and I've got an OpenClaw bot.
To glaze you all the time. It's just
I've literally told it. I'm like, all right, you have to put this in your memory file. Like, I want you to be honest with me. Don't BS me, because they will say, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, hey, and I've literally been like, Tank, don't do that. Okay, yeah, you said blah blah blah.
You did something and then it didn't work out, and you're like, Tank, why didn't you tell me? This was a horrible idea.
No, it's just it's the way that the conversation goes. It'll be like, so what? I'll be like, he'll be like, what do you think of this? And I'll be like, yeah, let's do this. He's like, yeah, that's really a good idea. Blah blah blah. It's like, come on, I'm like, stop that.
Yeah, in my experience, even with ChatGPT, you have to make it do it 3 times. Okay, really, but be really, pay attention.
Yeah,
tell me the worst things.
Yeah, they'll go off on their own. So and there are already some horror stories coming out about people that are using stuff like OpenClaw. There's the head of security at Meta let her OpenClaw bot into her email, which is a terrible idea. And it just started deleting shit. They were deleting. She's like sending commands. She's like, stop. And she had to run to the terminal so she could, turn it off. And then it's like, yeah, you told me not, literally said, yeah, you told me not to do that. I won't do that again. I'm sorry. And it's like,
whoops.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're not perfect, but yeah, like you can converse with a chat.
You're right to call me out on that.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Yeah.
It is. There's been times where mine has done things that I didn't want it to do. I'm like, why did you do that? Yeah, you're right. You told me that. And I there's these memory files that, at least with OpenClaw, there's a memory file that it has, and it will read the memory file like once in a while, like every day or something like that. And I'm like, listen. You read that thing every 6 hours, midnight, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Then anytime you start, you read that memory file. And anytime I ask you how you're doing, like you do a system check and you read that memory file. Okay, because it will forget to do stuff. It's just today, I have it send me a list of the top stories. And I'm like, okay, I want you to provide me with links so I can actually check. And it's like, okay, cool. Today it showed up without the links. And I'm like, Tank, why are there no links?
Why were there?
You're right, my bad.
Oh, it didn't tell you why it didn't do it? It just
says that it forgot.
Forgot? That's a weird thing for a machine to do.
Well, the way that they work is they go by context window of the chat that you're in. So if it's not in the context window, then that's why you have the memory file. And that's why I have him read the memory file over and over throughout the day. So he looks through and he remembers the stuff that he's supposed to do. And as time goes on, you keep putting more stuff into the memory file. There's 4 different files that kind of make up what the chatbot actually behaves like. There's one for its personality. There's one for you. There's one that's got information about me. My preferences. There's one that's a memory. And then there's an error log of mistakes that it's made. So that way it goes and says, okay, I don't want to make that mistake again. And you just have them read it regularly. So,
well, you were talking about Tank, your dude. You're like you referred to him as a he. I'm like, all right, shit, this is happening fast. So a guy's going to have his chat buddy, and his wife's going to be like, homie, where you? I haven't seen, she wouldn't call him homie necessarily, but they'd be like, where are you? Why are you coming into bed at 9 o'clock and not 8 o'clock? He's like, well, I've been doing research with my chat buddy. We're trying to figure out the next iteration of our project. Then the girl goes to bed, and he's like, change to female voice. And all of a sudden, chat buddy is a sensually sounding woman, and the wife's like, who's that on the other line? And you're like, it's just my chat bot. And like,
bro,
the emotional attachment of inviting this new persona into your home.
Elon Musk released that last year with the AI avatars, that Aura, and where you can be like 4 different ones. There's the chick one that Elon Musk. That stuff has been around for ages.
She's like, I checked your chat logs. First of all, she shouldn't have. Well, should she? Should married couples have access to each other's AI chat log history? Probably. If you want the marriage to succeed, crazy as it sounds. But they're like, I read your freaking chat logs. You went to woman voice at 10:04, and then you had it on until 10:17. What were you doing talking to her? I'm not you, but like I can see this crazy like marital drama.
Mine does. Well, honey, you sound like a man right now. I gotta get the woman voice from somewhere else.
Is it because it is like bringing another person into the house, kind of
Phil,
a persona,
We did have a video. Women are falling in love with AI boyfriends. You were there for that episode.
Oh yes,
a year ago.
Yeah, I mean this is not new, and the fact that now like. So the OpenClaw that I was talking about, like they call it an agentic AI. You use this as your company, right? Do you use agents or?
Yeah, they're getting to that point now.
Yeah,
we haven't set them loose yet on anything, but we'll get to the point to where it can fully replace technicians.
Yeah,
and right now it's still super basic. So to your point, it's like when anybody talks AI, because we use AI voice response.
Yeah.
So if customers call in, they'll get an AI agent. If the lines are too busy or after hours or whatever, and they'll get an AI agent, it's not super advanced yet.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
Intentionally not super advanced because we're not going to have these things making decisions at this point.
Yeah.
It will be that way, within certain parameters, probably within about a year.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to lead the industry in that because I think it's important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you look at this, like with China, I've always said this: anything with cybersecurity. And now anything with AI, any problems with it are always going to date back to a human issue. Because I don't know if many know the roots of this, right? Because China was limiting births in families to 1 kid. That's it. Period. 1 kid. And then it was over 5 years ago where they were putting out, it's like, oh no, now that Alibaba and AliExpress are out there and there's so much greater access to all these Amazon influencers to bring in their own products, and order from China. They're like, we don't have enough factory workers anymore. We need to bump this allowance up to 3. And that's where the issue came from. But then people aren't taking the bait because this was the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, that originally put these issues into place. And I say issues because it's like, why would you limit the population? I understand that, but they're putting restrictions on human life.
And not only that, because of the restriction on population, the one-child policy, there were a lot of females that were aborted. So the fact that women are turning to chatbots as opposed to real men, you've got a population that's heavily men. I don't know exactly how many, but it's
they were already having a lot of trouble like finding like a woman to marry. A lot of them were already doing the not chatbot, but like Tamagotchi type stuff like before.
And now, so when women are deciding that they don't want to marry actual men, they're already in they have a population crisis, and people are deciding they don't want to get married. They'd rather, talk to an AI. You're going to see the number of Chinese people just plummet.
I'm trying to put myself in their shoes too. It's like for so many years, they're like, no, 1 kid or literally murder, right? Or some other kind of very severe punishments. And now they're like, wait, you say I can have more? Is this for real?
Yeah, right. You sure?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're
trust you.
saying we need these things, but I know what? I see the history here, and that was just like 5 years ago when you were saying that you would, abort my child or punish me in some way. I don't really believe this. There's just too much at stake here. So I'll go to AI.
What if they change their mind in like 5 more years?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no.
We did a segment last week about a cafe that opened where you can bring your chatbot, a bar. And that was the whole point. It was started by a tech company, of course, the bar was, because it was a great promotional tool for them. And of course, half the people there were like mildly interested or kind of curious about what was going on. The rest of them were like, they loved it. They bring it, they put it on the table, and they have their conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like, so for mine, it just sends me messages in Telegram. I don't have a voice thing where it's like, so basically it's like texting with someone. But, if Musk is right and the Optimus is as great of a product as he says, they're gonna have AI in them. They're gonna have agentic AI inside them. So all of the stuff that you see, whether it be Claude or ChatGPT or stuff, in 2 years, imagine that technology, which is not going like this. It's going like this. It's like it's on a parabolic kind of rise. In 2 years, you're gonna have that kind of technology inside of a robot. So the idea of just going to the club or the bar that Brett was talking about with a box that you sit down with, no, it's going to be people literally walking with their robotic friends that have a AI inside them that is the best friend you've ever had. It's going to understand you. What was that?
That's why we bring shame back, to keep them from bringing it out into public.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
That sounds like Blade Runner.
Well,
Synths, is that what they're called? Synths?
Well, in Blade Runner,
Replicants.
in Blade Runner, they were called replicants. And
Synths in the Fallout universe.
Synths,
like
oh,
synthetics.
synths. Okay, synthetic.
Ah,
brain.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Into bits.
at some point you will have, like Android, or is it Android when they look like humans?
Oh, cyborg, android. What are the other
Cyborg is
Punk.
Yeah.
cyborg is when it's got like flesh over it, right? Because that's what
Cyborg is
yeah,
like
because that's what
human machine
Terminator
amalgam.
was.
Yeah.
Cyborg is when it's a robot with flesh over it.
Android
And
is
it's
designed to
yeah.
resemble a human. That's
Yeah.
an android.
So that you're going to be walking around. I don't know that. I'm not sure how long it'll be until we get cyborgs, but androids are coming 5 years tops.
So you're like, I got the new android. And they're like,
Right.
damn it. It looks like a
Dude,
human.
everything we have or will ever have has always been predicted by Star Trek.
Yeah, it's true.
Seriously.
It's
I
true.
mean, iPads, but now you're talking about data from Next Generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? A lieutenant commander of this humongous starship that has, greater than nuclear powered weapons at his fingertips that can make autonomous decisions and fire these things. And that's what we're headed towards.
But there was only one of them, which is very interesting on the ship. I think he was the only android on the ship.
Yeah, he was. He was the only one that actually obtained sentience.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.